What is good, everyone? Welcome back to Cleveland Sports Unfiltered. Uh, Ugly loss. Cavaliers fall to the New York Knicks in Game 2, of the Eastern Conference Finals by the final score of 93 to 109. Um, really got ugly in that third quarter. I think the Cavs, they started out well, and we started out well, getting the bigs involved, keeping the bigs involved. Wasn't isolation heavy, and started off great and played great defense. Did a phenomenal job on Brunson. He only had two first half points, and it went to the halftime with trailing 53-49, if I'm correct. Yeah, we were trailing 53-49. Game was close, and I think Donovan came in. Not Donovan, but we came, tied it up, and because of I remember correctly, Donovan tied it up at 53 all with a floater, and then the Knicks go on the 18-1 run, if I'm correct, they went on an 18-1 run, and then we just went isolation heavy. We went super isolation heavy. We went away from the bigs. We stopped feeding the bigs. We stopped playing through the bigs, not just feeding the bigs. We stopped playing through the bigs, and in, did we just went James Harden ISO, Don ISO, who he's hobbled. He's very very hobbled, and it's super apparent. But of course, he is not going to admit to any injuries, which you shouldn't. But if I could see it on my screen in this share watching, I know the Knicks see it. They see it. We all see it. He's not fooling anybody. He's most certainly hurt. But no excuse. No excuse. You out there, you see 45. It says Mitchell on the back. We expect you to be Donovan Mitchell, or sit your ass out if you go hurt and hinder the team. But overall, listen, I do want to say this is not a panic video, because I fell into the trap last series of panicking and you know rushing to judgment after two games. Now I get it. This is a totally different team. This isn't just a team that's overly reliant on one player. They have multiple guys who can get it done. Obviously, it was shown tonight that the others can step up when their top guy doesn't have the greatest game. But still, I'm not gonna overreact. And I don't think you guys should either. And I know that's the usual thing to do, is to overreact when your team goes down 0-1 and then 0-2, and the same thing in the other direction would have happened had we won game 1 and then won game 2. It would have been overreaction in the other way. There would have been sweep talks and all of that. So I'm not gonna overreact. And again, I encourage you not to overreact. But again, it was because I can understand why people is going to overreact, because you started out so well and you started getting your bigs involved. But personally, I know the saying gets irritating, but this really is a make or miss league, and we just miss shots, and you guys got to make your shots. You guys gotta make your shots. We had a horrific shooting night from the 3 point line. I think the only person who shot remotely close to well from the three was your big man, Evan Mobley, and you guys can't have that. Have your big being the best shooter on your team, and we don't have Cat or Dirk Nowinski on the team. Like you guys, we got snipe or we supposed to have snipers. Sam Merrill, 007. He and most of I think not most all of his shots, my man. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn today, and you were butt naked wide open on at least five of those 7 threes. You were butt naked wide open. It was times you did the usual you did the usual shooters thing. Punk fake, defender flies by, get that extra, dribble to, get your shot together, and you was clanking them bitches. My man, you got one job, bro. You didn't do it well this game. But to be fair to Sam, he did light it up in game one. So I'm not gonna be overly harsh or overly critical and say he was the reason why we lost. Again, nobody really played particularly well outside of the bigs. If you look at the bigs, they stopped going to the bigs, man. And look at Evan Mobley's stats. 14 points, 5 of 8, 2 of 3 from the 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from the 3-pointer. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, and he was a -5. But and then you look at Jared Allen. Jared Allen was 13 points on 5 of 10 shooting, 3 of 10, 10 rebounds. He had a double-double. He did his job. A steal, 2 blocks. The bigs did their job. And again, that's why I didn't understand. I get it. The Knicks made a run, but you guys, you have to keep doing what, I'm not going to say what got us there, but what the best offense, if we all can tell, the best version of the Cavaliers in this postseason has been the Game 7 Cavaliers. In those Game 7s, we have played primarily through the big mans. There's a reason why those games turned out the way they turned out. There was a reason why you guys kept up in this game, because you started off playing, I should say, you started off playing through the bigs. And then when you go away, it constantly proves. Every time we go James ISO heavy, Donovan ISO heavy, it doesn't end well. It just doesn't. And you guys only had one turnover between the two, but it was the quality of shots, the shot selection, and I'm again not an overreact, but what pisses me off is we take so long to get in our offensive sets because James is slow walking the ball up the court, literally taking 7.5 seconds to get over the half court line, and then you finally get into your offensive set at 16 seconds and sometimes maybe 14 seconds on the shot clock, and we gotta speed that up, man. That's been so frustrating to watch all postseason, that we continuously take this long to get to run our offensive stuff, and it is just very, very frustrating. But overall, just a nasty game outside of anybody but Jared and Evan. Donovan, yeah, he had 26 points, 8 of 18, 2 of 7, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and he only had 1 turnover. Again, that was the only turnover between he and James Harden. James Harden, you look at his stats, it showed he wasn't that bad, but he was the biggest minus on the court, -22. They, again, picked on them on defense. They continue to go at them. And, hey, man, it is what it is. But now that I think about that, I need to hear from all of you guys in the comment section and also from other creators, I do need to hear the James Harden defensive slanders because my man Darius Garland, you guys would not stop letting him hear it about how bad of a defender he is. He can't stay in front of nobody. They're just gonna keep picking on you. Well, they're doing the same with James. And I was told because he's a big body that they wouldn't. That shit, I always knew that shit didn't matter. That's why every time somebody ever told me he got a big body, if you guys will hear that, you will laugh. But the dumb shit I was told is big body, and he's exactly who I thought he was on defense. He's just not as good as Darius either. And I know he's a decent post defender, or supposed to be, but I don't see it. He's getting bullied everywhere on the perimeter in the paint. Just terrible, terrible start to the first two games of this series for James Harden. But again, first to four, not the first to two. He most certainly can have a bounce back game, and start to have a bounce back game when he gets to the friendly confines of Rocket Arena and have the backing of this great Cleveland fan base. And I'm definitely going to let you guys know, you guys better give us something to cheer about because we will boo the shit out of you. You guys better give our fans something to cheer about. Ask the Browns, we're gonna boo you. You keep turning the ball over, we're gonna boo you. Keep going ISO and throwing up bricks, we're gonna boo you. But other guys, again, like I said, other guys didn't play well. Max Strus, 25 minutes. You only gave us 5 points. You got to be better. Dennis Schroeder minutes continues to not be any productive minutes. 18 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 5. I told you Sam Merrill, 23 minutes, 4 points, 1 of 8, 0 of 7. Jalen Tyson, 10 minutes, 4 points, 1 of 4, 0 of 3. Then all of the other guys who got garbage time minutes wasn't any good. And Dean Wade, 21 minutes, 3 points. But again, you never really expect much from Dean because he gives you he's out on the floor for defensive purposes. And I think he did a phenomenal job guarding Jalen Brunson. Again, Brunson only had 2 points with Dean as the primary defender in the first half. 2 points. 2 points. He ended the game with 19 points on 7 of 16 shootings, 1 of 7 from 3, 4 of 4. But he did have 14 assists. He had a double-double. He did have 14 dimes. But I think that was attributed to Wade making him more of a passer than a scorer. And again, now this is why the game one loss hurts because, the fans we would be way more juiced and way more energized if you guys had a closed out that game one and not had a epic collapse. The city would have been more juiced. But it is what it is. You got a chance to come back and hopefully continue to, do a good job of guarding Jalen Brunson. And he wasn't even the one that killed you tonight. He wasn't even the one that killed us. It was Josh Hart. 33 minutes, 26 points, 10 to 21. He was 5 of 11 from the three. Now, I get it. He's the one you want to let him to shoot. And again, miss or make league. But, Sam, you cannot let someone like Josh Hart outshoot you. You're a sniper, and he is not. There's a reason he's getting the Isaac Okoro treatment. I dare you to shoot, and if you kill us, we'll just live with it. There's a reason for that. There's an absolute reason for that. There's a reason OG Anunoby continues to get left up, or he made half of his threes. He only took 4, but he made 2. You and Max Strus cannot get outshot by both of those guys. You just cannot. You cannot. And, Cat, he had a huge first half. Cat was cooking in the first half, but then I think Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, did a great job in the second half on him. He only ended with 18.7 to 12, 3 of 5. and he only took 2 free throws. Brunson didn't really do much to kill you. It wasn't really him. It was this game was more. This was the Josh Hart game. This was the Josh Hart. Obviously, set a career high in playoff points. So this was a Josh Hart game, and you were gonna get one of those games where Brunson was off, and either Bridges or a Hart or a Clarkson or someone like that will come off the bench and absolutely wreak havoc. Not saying come, what I mean when I come off the bench, but either off the bench or one of the others. The others, you knew you were gonna get a game where the others killed you. But gotta flush it. I know we're all mad. I know we're gonna be mad, and I know we still have game one on our minds. I know I do. But gotta flush it. We can't panic. We can't panic. We can't act like the series is over because we've been here before. We was literally here last series. Again, I get it. This totally different monster from the previous team and the Detroit Pistons. Totally different team. I get it. I understand it. I understand the frustration. But again, this team has shown when adversity hits this year, they step up. They tend to step up. I don't want to give up on them too soon. I don't think we should, but again, I can understand everybody's frustration, especially after that collapse when you could have snatched home court advantage. But we still got a chance. It's the first of 4, not the first of 2. Got a chance to come back on Saturday. Come back Saturday, get a dub, get yourself right back into the series, and we'll be feeling good again. But those are just my thoughts on the game. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Give me your predictions for Saturday's game. Do we win? Do we finally get on the board? Or do we, get down to that insurmountable lead to where we're down 0-3? Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Give me y'all game predictions, score predictions, who saves who, whether does a role player step up? Is it a star-led win or loss? Y'all let me know. Again, you guys know what I'm about to tell you. You guys don't got to go home. Y'all got to get the hell up out of here. Until next time, peace.